What's up everyone, Nethervoid here with a different kind of video. I haven't done one of these in a long time, just a channel update video on what I'm doing and where I'm going. Because I kind of do, I've really liked what I've been doing with Satisfactory, and I'm looking at longer term stuff for this channel once again, which hasn't happened. I haven't had this kind of motivation in a while. But you can see my list of playlists here in the background. I've just done so many different Let's Plays. Not all of them have been completed, obviously. And not all of them are actually in order. I actually also have some stuff that I've done really off this channel with a different channel, but it's not really what we're talking about. Got a lot of videos on this channel. Been doing this since 2012. But anyway, I'm probably halfway through the Satisfactory Let's Play, and I wanted to get another game up on the channel to run pretty much parallel with Satisfactory. We'd probably do like one video or one episode of that new game and one episode of Satisfactory and kind of stagger them like that. I mean, they wouldn't be maybe exactly one for one, maybe they would. But I think I want some variety on the channel, not only so that I don't burn out on playing Satisfactory and don't finish it, but also because it's variety for you guys and also to bring in more people and different audiences and stuff, right? So I've kind of narrowed down what I might want to play based on, well, there's a few things that I do. So I'll just show you, well, I'll show you the results of what I've been thinking, and then we can talk about, and I don't know how I can resize maybe? Maybe I can make this larger, maybe 200%, something like that. Is that too big? Yeah. Maybe 150, 175? Oops, that's even bigger. 175, maybe that'll work, and then I'll just expand the paint here. So the way I found or decided to do Factoria or Satisfactory is I went on this site called, I think it's SteamDB, and you can look at different levels of who's playing what game. Like you can see right here, they've got the rank of the game, the name of the game, the current number of players playing the game on Steam, the 24-hour peak, and then the all-time peak. These are some really good figures when you're trying to figure out, as a YouTuber, what game to play. As you can see, I picked out Satisfactory really from a group of building games because I wanted to play a building game, but it needed to have at least a certain level of population, or there's really not that much reason to play it a lot of the time. So you can see it's got 10,000, or at the time of this picture, it had like 1,200 or 10.2 thousand people playing it. Almost at the peak, right here, 10.6 is the peak. 34,200 has been the max it's ever gotten. So the reason these numbers are important is because, like I just said, you have to have a game that has enough people playing it to where your Let's Play is going to be probably viewed. And I know a lot of people probably play some of these games off of Steam, but I think mostly Steam is a good indicator to the level of popularity of a game. Really, the all-time peak is something I added in secondary to my analysis to say, when this, like, what is the game pulling now for popularity versus what did it pull when it started? Part of the reason for that is, like, if you look at Satisfactory, 34,000 is its peak, even though it's at basically 10,000 right now. That means when an update comes out, probably or likely you're going to see a big peak in users, right? In people playing that game, and so especially if you can launch your Let's Play when that update releases, you're going to have more likely pick up viewers and stuff like that. Now YouTube isn't all about that, obviously. When I play my Let's Plays, I'm having fun. I'm not making money off of YouTube right now. I did in the past, but I'm not right now. And I don't do it for money. I do it for enjoyment. But I do want to grow YouTube. It's like meta game for me. It's like a game within a game, right? I get to post videos and stuff, but also I get to see, did this video do better? Can I do A/B experimentation and see what brings in more viewers or what people liked, right? That's also a fun game for me. If you look at analytics, I get to look at that. YouTube is kind of a game in some ways. So I check this stuff out quite a bit, and I kind of experiment around and have fun with it. So that's why numbers for a game is kind of important. Secondly, obviously, I have to want to play the game, especially for right now. I'm not making money off of it. The second thing, well, not second thing, one of the things I learned about YouTube a long time ago is you are not going to be able to probably continue to play games you don't really like. Even if you're getting a huge spike in growth and stuff on YouTube, if you play a game you don't really like in a genre or a genre you don't really like, you can do that for a little bit, like maybe 5 videos or something, and it can be compelling and fine and great. But if you do like right now I'm on episode 40 something of my Satisfactory playthrough, and I've gotten like, I think it's like 30 to 35 hours of gameplay now on that series. So I have to really like that game or I'm going to quit. And I have had other playlists or other playthroughs where literally I just quit right in the middle because I got bored. So it's very important to play games that you at least kind of like, that you can actually play all the way through, okay? Secondly, it really... that's pretty much what I learned about you also want to pick a genre that you really like. So because you can play games within that genre, and most of the people that like one series will probably like the other series. One of the things that I did wrong earlier in my career is I started with World of Tanks, and I got pretty big with World of Tanks, and then I wanted to play Minecraft, which is a very different game, obviously. You know, World of Tanks is kind of an FPS lobby-based shooter game, and Minecraft is a survival builder game, right? Those are completely different games. One's multiplayer, one's single player. I mean, there's so many differences. It's easier to talk about probably a list of similarities because there are much fewer similarities. Now, I did get some people that did watch Minecraft as well, and then I also grew... that was great, but not in the same numbers. I'd put a World of Tanks video up, and then within 5 hours, I'd have like 4,000 views on it. Where when I put up the same Minecraft video, within 5 hours, I'd have like 200 or 300 views. So obviously, 10% of the amount of views... that's not very good for your channel. Like, obviously, that's bad, right? Another thing that you kind of don't want to do is you don't want to pick up new viewers that like to see Minecraft-type stuff, and now they're with your guys that want to see World of Tanks or FPSs, right? They're very different. And so when you do a poll on, like, what game should I play next, your Minecraft section of your audience is going to say building games, and your World of Warcraft, or your FPS guys are going to be like, that's crap, no, do this, you know, because they're going to be very different types of games that they want to see. So I thought that it's very important also to pick the genre you really like. So those are the few things I've learned, and over time, and really over the last 10 years, I guess, on and off, because I haven't been doing this the whole time, I have kind of perfected how to start new series. And... well, not perfected. I've gotten better at it because it definitely isn't perfect. So, knowing those things, I've looked at these games as possibilities for this other game I want to play. Now, none of these are new. Well, there's one game that's kind of new, Farthest Frontier. Farthest Frontier just came out pretty much like a month ago. That is the only new game on this list. These other games are pretty old. Some of them are just like 2 years old. Some of them are like 10 years old, okay? And that does matter because one of the things about YouTube is you have interest spikes, right? Well, for you guys, it's the other way around. You have interest spikes. They call it tent polling. So when Farthest Frontier, right now, Farthest Frontier is probably at the biggest tent pole it'll ever have, right? It's got the most hype it's ever going to have because it's releasing now. No one's ever heard of it. Well, not no one, but... most people have not heard of it, so it's going up really big right now. It's streaming right now. Everybody's really interested because it's brand new, and then it's going to dip down. So it would be a good. If I was going to play Farthest Frontier, probably now's the best time to play it. In the future, with a all-time peak of 24,900 or 25,000, basically, it might never really get the kind of numbers to put it up this high in the list that I would even consider it. Okay. So there's that. Satisfactory, obviously, playing it now doesn't really matter. I really put that in the list to show where it sits compared to other games. Oxygen not included. It's a contender. I've seen it. It's a 2D kind of side-scrolling building game. It looks pretty cool. I did a similar playthrough, and I don't think it's on here because remember I was on 2 different channels. I should never have split my channels. That's another problem I did that I should have never done. Craft World or something? Is it on here? No, so my Craft World series, or Worldcraft, or something like that, which is basically a 2D crafting game with dwarves or something, it did pretty well. It's not that, it's just on a different channel. But it's very similar to that. That is what Oxygen Not Included is, but it's more of a science, like a sci-fi based version of that game. It's pretty cool. It's about 2 years old. Again, the peak's not super high, but it looks like right now it's got a decent amount of players. It's a contender. Factorio is the obvious king of factory games. I already have 2 seasons of it. It does pretty well, I think. The peak is 35,000, so it's a lot like Satisfactory. Right now, I think has a higher player base. Could be because it's had a newer update, because Update 6 is not really out yet, even though you can play it for Satisfactory. I think Factorio has had more recent updates possibly, and it's just more popular, it seems like. That's a contender. I do know that game. I've played it before. I could do a modded version of it, and it'd be really fun. I don't know. Stellaris, I tried a playthrough of this before, and I think I actually did it on this channel because I was watching it. No, I think it's on the other channel. Yeah, it's on my other channel. I didn't finish the series. Stellaris is a grand strategy game. So there's strategy games, which is like Civ 6. Trying to think of other things. Strategy games. Civ 6, Hearts of Iron 4. I have a playthrough of that on my channel. Just other like city type builder with war included and stuff like that is a strategy game, right? A grand strategy game, which actually I think the term was penned by the guys that made Stellaris and made Hearts of Iron 4. Actually, Hearts of Iron 4 is a grand strategy game, not just a strategy game. But it's just way more complex. There's a lot more different intricacies, which I find really entertaining because there's so many different things you can do. It's a lot harder to just learn how to do the game and just pound out, your wins, basically. It's more complex. It's more in-depth. It's very fun. And I never really gave Stellaris a good playthrough because, for one, I think I just played Hearts of Iron 4. I'm not positive. I just gotten done playing a grand strategy game, and I was a little burnt out by it. And Space is a little different. It's a little bit harder. It can be to feel connected with a space strategy game, because we are not space-dwelling creatures. And now, you know me, man. I rabbit hole a lot. I go off into science a lot and talk about why I think things are connected or why things happen. I think it's really fascinating. But Hearts of Iron 4. We've experienced that, so we know everything not everything. We know so much about how to recreate the World War II experience in a game, okay? Space travel, space empires, those kinds of things, we've never experienced that. We have sci-fi literature about it, movies, things like that, imagination as to what it will be like, but we don't even have the technology to do it, so we don't know what it's really going to be like when it happens. And so because of that, in some ways, we don't know enough details about that kind of a society or what you're trying to recreate in the game to create a very compelling game that kind of makes you feel hooked into the game world. It's a lot harder to feel emotionally connected to the game world because there aren't enough pieces that will emotionally connect you. World War II, there's obvious emotional connection there, right? I mean, there's the Holocaust. There's a bunch of emotional pieces that go along with World War II that makes it easier to hook into it with your emotional brain. So it's easier to feel a bond there, okay? But Stellaris is a really cool game. I was watching my episode 1 of it. It seems really fun. I would love to do a space strategy. I haven't done one in a long time. I think I also did, I can't remember what it was called, Endless Space. This is just a regular strategy game. I did 2 seasons of this. First season's on here, obviously, I guess. But, yeah, the second season, I think, is on my other channel. This did really well. It's just a regular strategy game. It's really fun. But, again, it's more of a fast-paced, not super connected game. It's just going to be quicker. I think it was over in 45 episodes. So there's Stellaris. The population's really good for Stellaris. Now as we go up the list here, Conan Exiles and Ark Survival Evolved are almost the same game, it feels like. They both have multiplayer versions. I think it was more intended to play as a multiplayer game. Whereas like Stellaris and Below are more single-player games. You can play them with other people, but they're really designed as single-player games. I don't know if Farthest Frontier is a multiplayer. I don't think it does, actually. But Conan Exiles and Ark Survival Evolved are building games that have crafting, right? but they're more survival focused. So almost, well, from what I've seen at least, almost all your crafting is going to be to get better weapons and to build a better base and to get the next level of material to build better weapons, or to, and I think in both games you can actually tame like the local monsters and stuff and use them, and like I think you can even breed them and stuff to get better monsters and things, but it's all based around survival, which I think has a more Minecraft feel to it, so it's sort of a Minecrafty type game in that way. I don't know, those are definitely different types of games than what I'm used to playing, but again, the crafting really links it. You got to have a link. Crafting in those games links to Satisfactory, Factorio, and other things, not to strategy games, but at least to these other building games. So those are also contenders. Now, Conan Exiles, I really, from what I've seen, like it better than Ark Survival Evolved. I like the style of Conan Exiles better. I like that it feels more realistic, and then it doesn't have dinosaurs and stuff. There's that. I think from what I've seen about like armor and things like that, looks cooler. But if you look, you can see that Conan Exiles, while it does have a high population, the all-time peak is lower, which means it might be experiencing a kind of a population boom. I don't even know how old it is. I want to say it's at least a year old. Let me look that up real quick off camera here. Conan, I didn't look at when this came out. Let's see it on Steam. Steam will tell me. Let's see, when did this thing come out? Yeah, that's fine. View page. I have to put a valid date in. So I might also get age restricted if I put this on my channel. Probably not. Oh, it just totally kicked me out. Oh, there we go. I don't know. I'm going to say like a 9,000 years old. Just let me in. I'm older than the queen. Okay? It still didn't do it. What? Conan Exiles. Oops. Okay, here we go. Sorry, but you're not permitted to review this material this time. Why not? Is 1910 not early enough? 1947 then. Finally. That's strange. Released in 2018, and it looks like they have some DLC, possibly. Here, let me just show you what I'm looking at here. Okay, well, I'll just show you on the screen. So, Conan Exiles. See, Isle of Spitna or whatever. Complete edition. So I bet you it's got a... Okay, so it's over a year since they've released an expansion. But it's definitely up in the numbers right now. Sorry, my throat's all messed up. I've been recording videos and talking on the phone all day today. So there's that. Ark Survival Evolved. I don't know what's going on with that. Again, we'll just pull it over to see what's going on Steam. I don't know as much about these games. Ark 2. So there's an expansion pack at least. See, it's going to come out 2023. Might as well just wait. That's the only thing about when you do next versions of something, is people stop caring because they're like, well, we're going to get a new one anyway. So this released on 2017, but it's had some DLC. Content for this game, expansion maps, okay, season passes. That's it? Oh, see all. Expansion pack. 2018, so is this the newest one? Okay, so this has about a year and a half too. That's a soundtrack though. Expansion pack, original soundtrack. Okay, here's I think the latest expansion. 2 years ago. So it just hasn't had as much of an expansion lately. It does have a bigger, all-time peak, but that's because I think it's one of the first of its kind to come out, and it had a lot of hype and stuff. So let me know what you think about all these. I think these are the ones that I would probably want to play. There were a couple runners-up that I checked out. I did check out the couple of games that were mentioned. Thanks for mentioning those in the other series where I asked for that. They just didn't seem like my style as much as these games you see on screen. Couldn't really get into them. Some had just styles I didn't really care for and stuff. It wasn't that they weren't good games. It's just that... and they need to post on this list. So if we go to... I'll just pull it over here. Watch. If you go here, and you go to most played games, it just gives you a list of what's out there right now, what's going on. Like Lost Ark right now, you know, has a lot of players. I love playing that game. It's just I don't have time to play that all the time, and it really doesn't feel great for YouTube content unless you're doing market analysis and a bunch of stuff I don't want to do. But yeah, if you look at this list, you don't want something on, you know, page 5 where it's getting like 800 users. That means if I do MechWarrior 5 and I post a YouTube video about it, probably not going to get a lot of views. Okay? Another thing to know, though, is the more users something has, the harder it can be to break into it on YouTube or other social areas, right? Because the competition will be higher in those areas. People aren't stupid. I mean, obviously, you're going to get more channels doing ARK videos, let's say. If somebody sees, oh my god, this ARK video got 300,000 views, well, I want to make some ARK stuff on my channel, and then you know, so you get more competition that way. So they actually say that smaller channels should focus on smaller games. Not super small, like I said, 500 users, probably you wouldn't make a video on that, but you're more likely to be seen by people on YouTube just because there aren't as many people making content for that. So that's why for Satisfactory you can see with 10,000 players basically at a time, the people putting out Satisfactory content, there's only like, I think not that many, like 5 or something like that. Big channels, not like tiny channels. And actually the biggest channels doing Satisfactory right now, I think, aren't even 1 million subscribers. You know, I think one of them has 400, 500,000 or something like that. And I don't mean posting one video saying, hey, a new expansion's coming out, here it is, and then they don't ever post another video. I'm talking about people that do Let's Plays. I'm talking about Let's Play content, which again is a totally separate part of YouTube. So I have to always also be aware of that. I do watch other people's Let's Play content to just get ideas. And like, there's no reason to come up with every idea on your own. That just doesn't make any sense. No one does that, first of all. Einstein didn't do it. He went to school as well and learned the basics of physics and math before he tried to expand on it, right? It's just, why would you... It'd be like being born and just living in a cave because you just don't want to tap into anyone else's ideas. Well, you'd literally have to be a caveman. Even then, living in a cave probably wasn't the way it started. So someone had to decide to live in a cave first, so you're never having the first idea, okay? It doesn't mean I don't want to innovate, it's just I don't need to innovate, okay? So these are my options, I think, at this time. I love Hearts of Iron 4, but I don't want to play another playthrough of that. I played as Germany, it was a lot of fun. Look it up if you are so inclined. I don't know if it's on which one it's on here. Let's go look. I think it's on my main channel, but Hearts, actually HOI 4, right? No, it's on the other channel, and that kind of sucks. I've been thinking about moving all my stuff over to this channel and literally deleting the other channel because it dilutes the pool of my subscriber base. But I'm not sure I'm ready to do that yet. I'm going to get deeper into this channel. Then I'm going to start posting videos to the other channels, telling them people I'm taking them down. I think I've got 3 other channels, actually. Some of them I forgot about, where I need to go take that stuff down and try to move people to this channel. Because there really isn't a point. Now I've moved, at least my active subscriber base is watching my strategy and building games. I don't really, I think, have a lot of people that want to see not World of Warcraft, but want to see World of Tanks anymore, because I haven't done World of Tanks footage in years, and so most of those people have moved on to other channels, which is totally fine. I get that. But if you look at my stuff here, my views, actually, if you go to analytics and just look at views, this is really nice to see. All my top videos are Satisfactory. My current Let's Play, okay? That is really good. It's good to see that, because that means when I post a video, it's engaging. Most of my views are coming from my current content, and it's really going to start growing my channel, which is really good. For a while, it wouldn't grow my channel because most of my views were not from my newest content. But if you go back, you can see, let's see, when does it stop? Nope, still Satisfactory, which is, again, awesome. Again, I really want to say, again, I keep saying this, but it's so true for YouTube channels especially. Like, I really value everybody who watches my stuff. all you new guys and some old guys too, like Phoenix, you've been around forever. Cowboy 1981, been around forever. I really appreciate YouTube for me at least, and again because I like it. It's a symbiosis. Like you can't have videos without content creators, right? But you can't have content creation really without viewers. They kind of go hand in hand. They work together. And so it's really important. You guys are really important to me. That's why I've really been also thinking about, and maybe this can be something you guys can mention in the comment section, if not doing my Let's Play as a multiplayer version, as in standing up a server and playing with a handful of people. If not that, then doing a standalone Let's Play, but also jumping into the multiplayer server. I'll set up a multiplayer server for you guys. Maybe we could do it through Discord too, so everybody can talk and stuff that's on the server, and just let that go and sometimes hop in there and check stuff out. I think that's another great way to interact with the community, and I'd love to do that. I used to have a small community around my Minecraft stuff, and we actually got some servers going where we allowed subscribers to come onto the channel. I had like a I don't know, some kind of contest or something that was really cool, and we let like 14 people on. I had another YouTuber at the time. I haven't talked to him in so long, man. Pyro, he's still going, by the way. He still does YouTube. Pyrostasis was on there on season 1 of Minecraft. That was really fun. Season 2, I think we got 2 more YouTubers, or season 3, I can't remember which one. But that was really fun. We allowed people on the server. It was a lot of fun. So I'm thinking about doing that again. Again, if I keep expanding my YouTube presence, then I would like to expand the community. That was always my most fun thing. In fact, the community is really what, well, not only, but it was a big push. Not only does it help, I think, you guys interact with me, and you meet a lot of people, and a lot of those people I think are still friends that we met through World of Tanks originally, and then also through Minecraft. Those people, I think those guys are still friends on Steam. They still play together. I don't know. I probably should look some of them up because it's been a while. But that community really served as a great hub for people to play the game together, the games they enjoyed together, like a guild. It was just kind of like a guild that started through a YouTube channel, though. So I'd like to get back to that. But I need to do it. I need to do this time around in my YouTube in a way that's sustainable for me. What happened with World of Tanks and I guess my channel in general, World of Tanks was kind of an anomaly for me. I don't generally like first-person shooters. So World of Tanks being a game I really enjoyed was kind of a weird thing for me. It was not like the other content I was even posting at the time, but it did gain a lot of traction and it exploded, right? So it's the game I had to go with. But now that I know the genres I really like, I'm hoping that I can maybe recreate some of the cool things we had back then with these newer games and the newer genres that I know I want to stick with. And so even if I get bored with one game, I can move to a similar game and everybody can play the similar game if they want to, right? So yeah, we're going Satisfactory. That was a really long-winded way to say basically what I did in the past. This Elite Dangerous video does get tons of views still. I think a lot of people, it's still really helpful. I think it's just generally how to move your ship and get into the dock and stuff. It's really not that big of a deal, but it helped. I used to do a lot more tutorials. I don't really do tutorials anymore. For one, I don't really like them. You can see they're very, they're evergreen content though. I literally created, this is Assassin's Creed 3, bro. This came out forever ago. I posted this 10 years ago. It's still getting 83 views a month. That is a lot of views for something that was posted 10 years ago. Seriously, that's a lot, man. And I think this Elite Dangerous video, 2014, that's 8 years old. So if you do good guides, they can be great evergreen content, and I probably do need to pepper in some guides here and there. But what I don't want to do is be a guide channel. This is a Let's Play channel, and it's going to be a community-based Let's Play channel with a Discord server probably, and setting up public servers for everybody to play on, or at least to get into games here and there and play together like Civ 6, let's play a game tonight or something. And I think I could even stream some of that content sometimes. That would be fun too. We'll see. So Russian Videos Index still getting tons of views, which is really old content at this point. I'm not even sure it applies really anymore. But again, Dyson Sphere Program Episode 1, you go check that out if you do like building games that I did a really nice playthrough of that. It was really a lot of fun. I actually had a lot of fun with Dyson Sphere program. This is more recent, obviously. Lost Ark, how to change your Super Express character. I couldn't even find a video on this, so I just posted one. And it's got a lot of views, and I got straight to the point on it. It's literally 40 seconds long. One of the things that I liked and didn't like about my previous, my previous guides, I felt like they were too long, first of all. I know this video is getting really long even. But the guides were really long, and I felt like when I watch guides, I want people to get straight to the point, and so I find myself jumping around a lot. So instead on this is my latest guide that I've made. I just did it in 40 seconds. I even chopped out some pieces that I thought were just too long where I was trying to figure out where the button was. I just cut that. So it was like, here's what we're doing, guys. Here's how we do it. Click the button. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. That was it. And that's why I think that's such a popular video for a guide, is because it's so short. People just don't have the attention span they used to watch a 40-minute guide or something like that. Now, if your guide is an extensive overview guide of a lot of different things, and the game is very complicated, like I have an old EVE Online guide that was like that for beginners. It was like 2 hours long. Now, with the new stuff you have on YouTube, you have where you can kind of bookmark your video in the little slider. You can have a guide like that because people can just pop around where they want to go in your guide. Then they can reference it, kind of like a book. You would reference a book. Like, I don't know, just pick a book off the thing. Like, actually, I need to read this. It's a Carl Jung book. It's going to be so awesome. But anyway, so you can reference different spots, like put a bookmark in there and reference it really fast, like especially if you're like an IT guy and you find a book that tells you how to build something and you only need it once every 3 years. You just pop the book open, oh, that's how you do it, and bam, you're good. So some videos are like that too, where that person's going to come back to that video and go back to that section. I've done that many times, actually. I actually do bookmark videos like that. I put them in my browser, and I go back to them when I want to get to that part of the build or something, like if it's oil or whatever it is, right? So those can be good too, and I want to do a few of those. Not a lot, though. How to Churchill. I don't know how this gets so many views still. Maybe the Churchill 7. Probably almost no videos on it. It's probably why. I was trying to do a guide for every tank in that game. And so I think some of them just nobody ever touched because they're not very fun. German Videos Index. That doesn't even work anymore. This video literally doesn't work anymore. You used to have areas you could click to go to the different videos. That's why I made that index video. So if you wanted to quickly go back and forth between the different tanks, you could. But the YouTube removed the little box you could place where you could click it and go to a different video. I think they're called anchors. They removed those. So this doesn't even work anymore. I don't even know why it's getting so many views still. Well, yeah. So I don't know. How to get on the dev server. You can't even do this. This is so old that you can't even do this anymore, I don't think. City Skylines. Cinematographer mod. People are trying to look up how to use that mod. So again, this is more of a tutorial. Is the reason City Skylines is still going. This is 7 years old, right? Actually, I was watching this playthrough. It's pretty fun. That's another thing I forgot to talk about. And I will try to bookmark this video so you can hop around on my different topics. If you're getting bored with one of the topics, I'll put some links in there so we can go back to different topics. Now, another factor for me to consider in these games is I like to create backstories for my characters. Okay, like if you watch my City Skylines videos, I have a whole like backstory on who is influencing what subdivision and different marriages in the town, and then there's a divorce or somebody's got caught pilfering, like embezzling or something, and there's a whole backstory of why the city's changing the way it is. Either it's expanding, or you're changing out some freeways that don't work right, or you're putting in buses or something like that. I created, just with my straight up imagination, usually in the moment, I just created a backstory for it, because with my imagination being so wild, it was easy and fun. And so different parts of the area, I felt really connected to that Let's Play, not only because the game is pretty fun, but also because I had connection to the different districts in that game, and so I would go work on an area, and that area would have a feel to me, like how that person wanted it to be, like how they wanted it to be laid out. This fictitious character, right? That was a lot of fun, and when I go over different areas, if you watch the whole Let's Play, you get kind of sucked into the backstory. I thought it was a lot of fun. So with these other games, I want to do the same thing. So Ark, Survival Evolved, Conan, those are going to be difficult to do because there are there aren't that many NPCs, and I can't just create NPCs, right? like City Skylines, obviously it's a city, so there's like a million, like 50,000 people that live there, so I can create backstory and stuff, okay? But with Ark and Conan, it's kind of a single person experience, kind of like Satisfactory. There's one person on the planet, so there's no, oh, Jim must have made this area, and now it must have been Heidi over here, and this is when they had a baby, or, you know, you can't really do a backstory like that. Or you can't, like, let's say you did a single player backstory, like, well, Conan was left here as a kid, and now he's got to grow up and learn all this stuff over again. Why is he learning everything over again, by the way? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's hard to make a backstory with game mechanics that don't make a lot of sense. So, there's that. Stellaris is a little easier, again, because we're talking about large periods of, like, large populations. You actually can name characters in that game, just like in Hearts of Iron 4. Hearts of Iron 4 playthrough, I came up with generals. Different generals I named them a specific name. Then I would follow through with what they were doing during the campaign, right? So I'd be like, this new formation of troop is attributed to this general. He came up with it one night over, you know, a bottle of vodka, and it was awesome. And so this is going to be called the General Whatever Formation or something like that. And then there'd be drama, like he would get, like, when we'd find out that later, like, I'd learn more about the game and find out that formation kind of sucked. Well, he would get demoted. Like, he'd be like, oh, so-and-so is come on hard times now. He's drinking too much, or, you know, whatever. And it's fun to, and then he's replaced by this younger general, and it creates a lot of drama in the game. It's just a lot of fun to have a backstory like that. Stellaris, I could do that. Factorio, it's single player, I can't. Same thing here. Farthest Frontier, I can, because it's a city builder. So it's kind of like Sim City or like City Skylines, sort of. But it's set in, like, I want to say 1800 or something like that, maybe 1700. You have to, like, maybe it's even earlier, maybe it's like 1600s, but you have to build your city up from scratch. So you have to create, like, the charcoal burner guys, and then you upgrade into the, you know, the forges, and then you have to go get iron and stuff. So Farthest Frontier is looking like it could be a contender, actually. It's got a low player base right now, but also I don't think it has a lot of people posting videos. And actually, as the tent pole drops off, what will happen is a lot of the people that did 1 or 2 videos will be gone, and they won't be around anymore. And so people will be looking for Let's Plays of that game if they really like it. And since those people just hit, like, 2 videos on it, then people will be looking for Let's Players, and there's only a few, right? So it'll be easier to find me. So that's actually maybe a decent idea. This is a strategy game, though. It's not grand strategy. You can name people in this game, and they do die and stuff. I think that's really cool. But I think it might be harder to create a backstory and maybe harder to have fun, because the game is kind of, it's not as complex as, like, Stellaris. So there's that. Oxygen not included. It has multiple characters in the game, so that could work out really well as far as a backstory. So that's the backstory thing is something to consider. It doesn't mean I'm only going to do that. Yeah, but it is a consideration. I think it's fun. Let me know if you think backstories are fun like that. I don't know. Also, comment if you've seen one of my Let's Plays that has a lot of backstory, especially if you've seen City Skylines. Tell me if you really liked that in the comment section, or if you didn't, that's fine too. Say that. So that's kind of my thoughts right now on my channel and where I want to go with it. And again, I just want to say that I'm really thankful for all the support and all the commenting. I try to get to every comment. Sometimes I don't get to every one of them, but I try to include you guys as much as I can in the Let's Play experience, because it's, to me, it's not a bubble. I know I'm playing alone, but I know you guys are going to comment. I know now you're hearing me talk about people that have keep commenting. I'm bringing them up in videos all the time. Like, oh, this person wanted me to do this, I know, and now I'm getting to it, right? That is what I like doing on YouTube. I don't want to just seriously sit there by myself and play by myself. It's not as fun as interacting with people. So again, let me know what you think about all those ideas in the comment section. If you have other ideas, or you've seen other Let's Players do certain things that you thought were really cool, put those in the comments as well. I'm always looking for feedback and good ideas. Always. You guys know this about me by now. And so hopefully you've enjoyed this. Can't wait to hear from you, and I will see you on the next one. Stay frosty.